What is going on, everyone? We're back again with another video. In today's video, we're obviously back in our Rockies franchise. We're obviously in the off season for 2026. Obviously had that great season. In the last episode, we can go in the GM contracts. We can see we lost in the NLCS. But we obviously completed the expectation of getting over 500 and reaching the postseason. So definitely a solid year. Definitely want to make that, come back again. We got a interesting amount of stuff to do. We got to review our staff. We got to get a new pitching coach over here. And then we got to, do some of these contract negotiations. I'm not sure who I really want to sign over here. Obviously, Kurtz and Bleeks were great in that postseason bullpen, but their stats across the season really have not been great with their ERAs and all that stuff. Marquez, I know I'm going to let go of. I'm not signing him back. I'm not giving him a qualifying offer. I'm not doing anything of that. George Polanco, I'm letting go. I'm not giving him a qualifying offer or anything like that. And then the big question is on Pete Alonso. I think I'm going to qualify him and hoping he leaves because I really don't want him back. I know the qualifying offer is $21.2 million, so it's definitely a lot of money. I'm kind of hoping he leaves, to be honest, and signs with another club because I really don't want him back. So we'll wait and see on that. But all right, so I'm gonna make this contract to Jaden Bleeks 1.5. What he's asking for, he's gonna be in that bullpen. It has us as like a not contending team, which is very weird, just because we made the playoffs, which is kind of interesting. And then we're gonna sign back John Kurtz, I'm pretty sure, over here, and we're gonna get him pretty much right. With the contract, he's looking for $800K a year, or $1.2 million a year. So we can give him exactly that. That's fine with me. I might go 1.1 on that one to save a little bit of money. But those are the two contracts I'm gonna give these two guys, just because I think we need the depth and we don't really have that much pieces in the bullpen right now. Yeah, so we want to take a look at the bullpen. The only one signed is Kevin Kelly right now. So Bigford, I definitely want back. I think these guys are definitely want back. Lucas, low key is not terrible. He's had a good season last year, so I definitely kind of want him back. I think he could be a really solid player. But yeah, looking at the depth we have here is not really good. We have a couple draft picks down here, not insanely good players. The closing pitchers, we definitely have a lot more talent for sure with, obviously Brett McKenzie down here, obviously Joe Reyes down here. We definitely have a lot more talent in the closing pitcher aspect of the team. But yeah, right now it's just Ryan Heasley and Lawrence who are still signed. So I don't know, we still got to wait and see. We'll see if we can get another bullpen arm or something like that in free agency, but yeah, we kind of need these guys back. All right, I am going to make this tender qualifying offer. I once again, I don't know how I feel about this, but I think we're going to do that. Rockies have tendered his contract. The player has until November 15th to accept the offer. So yeah, there we have it right there. So that contract's going to be made. $21 million is going to go to Pete Alonso, which is a significant bump to what he was making off last season. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll wait and see. Obviously, our pitching coach already accepted. We gave him a pretty good contract over there, which is very exciting. That was one day. I gave him, what was it? It was about 1.5 or 1.2 mil over 4 years. We have him locked up. So definitely a solid contract over there. So yeah, I signed that instantly. I kind of realized how to get these guys to sign pretty quickly with how much you give them and how many years you give them. So yeah, our pitching staff's looking, our coaching staff's looking pretty good, except for Dylan Whitey, who's only got 1 year left. So yeah, looking pretty solid over here. All right, so we are officially in free agency, as we can see right here. We got a lot of contracts to tender. We could take a look. Well, we still got our contracts right there. We still can take a look at who is available on the market right now, with a ton of players already getting their contracts and stuff with a lot of guys. So we can obviously tell Nico Hoerner is a big one that's going to be on the trading block. Obviously just came off that World Series win with the Cubs, so we got some Cubs players on here as well. Just some really good players across the board in general. So we got to see how much money we have to spend after all this stuff. But yeah, kind of thinking about who I want to make on the team. We obviously got a lot of good players. Jazz Chisholm's on the board. Once again, another really good hitter, but I don't know if I really want to spend the money on him. We got a guy like David Bernard from the Pittsburgh Pirates who's been really good as another closer in that bullpen. So we could take a look at some of these guys. Guys like Freddie Peralta's over here. We got a lot of good players on the board. All right, there we go. We offered our salary arbitration to pretty much everyone on this list. Got that pretty much all figured out. We tendered pretty much all the contracts that we have across the board for our team, which is very solid. We still have the guys that still have the pending offers with Bleeks, Curtis, and Kinkley over there. We just got to kind of select our 40-man roster, and then we can kind of see what our budget is going into this season. Obviously, you can take a look at our charts right here. Center field's still not the best because Abrams is technically a shortstop over there, and then we have Holiday at third, so that's why those are pretty low. But across the board, our team is still looking pretty solid. So let's select our 40-man roster and kind of see what happens. I'm gonna make the first contract offer to Evan Phillips. We just edged out the Dodgers right there at $1 million. 2 years for 20 mil, not bad on him. He's obviously a closing pitcher for the Dodgers, but he's got a great ERA the last couple of seasons. Love to take him away from the Dodgers, to be honest. So I think that's what we're going to go with on him. I think that's a pretty solid contract to be made right there. All right, I think I'll make this offer for Freddie Peralta. 40 mil at 2 years right here. He's been a good pitcher, but I don't really want him long term, or at least I can have control of him for a little bit. So that's what we're going to go with on him. So we got that contract, and then we got the Evan Phillips contract down here. I don't think a lot of these guys I'm really going to want, to be honest, in my opinion. So we'll kind of see what this happens. We'll kind of see where we go from here. Probably going to make minor upgrades in this offseason. Because we can even get a guy like a Brian Abreu who's really solid, but probably going to make some minor upgrades in this offseason. Not really going to go out crazy. There we go. Evan Phillips is back on the board right there. 20 mil over 2 years. That's what we want to see. So solid to get that contract signed back. We got a ton of other guys signing. There goes Pete Alonso over to the Cardinals right there. So happy he gets signed. Still in the NL, so we'll see what happens on that side. But yeah, glad he got signed. 4 years, $32 million over there. So happy about this. But these are some of the guys that got signed. So Fairbanks went back. Chisholm went back, and then Chapman went to the Tigers. Clay Holmes going to the Rangers. Pete Alonso obviously to the Cardinals, and then we got David Bednar to sign with the Angels. So that is the first wave of kind of contracts done. So we're at $37 million right now. We still have $34 million in pending offers with the Peralta stuff. So we got an interesting battle for Nico Horner between the Cubs and the Diamondbacks, which is pretty interesting overall. We'll see if he goes to the Diamondbacks, because we're going to be facing him a lot more probably. He was really annoying to face in the postseason, but I'd be kind of happy if he went to the Diamondbacks. I'm going to make this contract to Brian Abreu. 2 years, 15 mil. We'll see who signs first between him and Freddie Peralta at this point. But yeah, he's been a solid player with Houston the last 2 seasons, so I can definitely see him back on my team, which would be pretty exciting. We're going to have more players to sign, so Ryan Jeffers goes back to the Twins. Kyle Wright signs with the Twins, and then David Peterson signs with the Mets over here on the free agency chart. So once again, our offers are still here with Peralta and Brian Abreu. So we do have the Marlins outdoing us in that contract, so we're going to renegotiate that in just a minute. There we have it. Brian Abreu signs for 2 years, $16 million, pretty much what we wanted. So there we go on the board. I'm really happy to have him on our team. All right, here we go. We got the draft lottery for 2026. We're not really in this one, as I'm blocking it by the webcam, but we are number 27 on the list, obviously only 95 and 67. So yeah, we're not really on this. I didn't even know the Twins won 103 games last season. The World Series winners won 88 for the Cubs, as you can see. But let's just go to the draft lottery, which is pretty funny. They won 88 games and won everything, but it is what it is. They were just good in that postseason. We could not beat them, unfortunately, which you can see in the last episode if you guys want to go watch that. And we can see pretty much not a lot of movers, except the Dodgers go up 5 right there, so they get a good spot. The A's go up 1, the White Sox down by 2, then Detroit moves up 4, and everyone else is pretty much the exact same. So Dodgers having the number 1 pick is kind of scary, but it's all good. We're still at 27, so nothing crazy for us. Just thought I'd mention it. Patrick Sandoval is going to go to the Chicago Cubs. There we go. Even though the Angels were leading those conversations over there. We got a ton of other guys signing, with Singer going to the Dodgers, and Kirk signs back with the Cubs for his seasons. We still have the best offer for Peralta, so kind of waiting to see what happens here. We're barely beating out a couple teams, so I figured we have a good shot to get him. Obviously Horner's not going to go back to the Cubs, it looks like, after spending all that money. And then we got some interesting offers throughout the board on this free agency chart, which is definitely interesting to look at. Even get the A's in here. Hold on, shout out to the A's for spending some money. There it is. The Rockies signed Freddie Peralta for 2 seasons. That's what we want to see right here. So we're going to be able to get him on the board. Very excited about that pickup. We can obviously tell from our team right here. This starting pitching is going to be very solid. We're going to have a very good starting pitching with Gallen, Peralta, Burns, Fried, and Montgomery. I think I might trade Dolander just because he hasn't been the best for our team. Looking at his ERA the last 3 seasons and the innings he's pitched has not really been good for our squad, and even in the postseason he didn't really perform. So I think I might trade Chase Dolander, to be honest. And there was a pretty interesting trade I saw for him, to be honest. Here's our relief pitching with Brian Abreu, who's obviously on our team now, but Kelly, Buckford, we got Curtis Bleeks, and Lucas Gurneth back. And then we got our 3 closing pitchers over here. So we might have a lot of pitching, it looks like, moving forward, which I'm definitely excited about. So we should be pretty solid, moving forward. Brian Abreu, I'm extremely happy about. And then we get some pretty good closing pitchers across the board. So we should have a good, solid pitching core for the next couple of seasons is what I'm kind of hoping for with that. And then we still have the normal roster throughout the board. Matt Merz will probably play first base or DH this season. Or they want to put Nolan Jones over there at first base because he does have that first base secondary position. So I've been thinking about putting him over there at that first base position to kind of make some room for some other outfielders that I want to try out. Yeah, overall, we're looking pretty solid. Here is the budget so far. So obviously, Soto's in the last year of his contract right now. We still have Gallen for 2 seasons. We have Peralta for 2 seasons. Burns for 2 seasons. So, if we get to the 2029 season and we don't win, we're going to lose a lot of starting pitching, it looks like. So that's going to be tough for our team. Fried obviously has a 1-year contract for this season. We got Montgomery for that. Yeah, so that 2029 season is going to be bad. We're going to lose 4 starting pitching. Evan Phillips is gone that season. Heasy's gone next season. Then Abreu's also gone that season with Brandon Rogers. So hopefully we can win, because that's what the goal on this team. We want to win, but there's a lot of guys that could be potentially gone in that 2028 season. So this was the trade I did see for Jason Dominguez, obviously on the New York Yankees. Right here, he's been a pretty solid outfielder. He only had a couple he had a lot of ABs last year. Not hitting insanely well with 211, but I definitely think he could be a good player. Obviously going up in overall like crazy for us. And obviously with CJ Abrams only being on that 1-year contract, I think he'd be a good option for us. And I'm not a big fan of Dollander, to be honest. I've already said my thing on him. So I think I'm going to make this trade right here. I think he's going to be a good player. I'm kind of excited to bring him on in for our team. And we do have a lot of outfielders. Don't get that wrong. We got a lot of outfielders over here. In left field, we got 2. Obviously Dominguez, and then we got 2 over here. And then we still have Veen and Jordan Beck we could try out. So a lot of guys we could try out throughout this team. So definitely excited to have him on the board. Don't know if he's going to start right away, but definitely could be a solid player for us. So the Cubs are going to sign Jonathan India, so they're not going to get Nico Horner back because he's going to go to the Diamondbacks. So we're going to have to face him a lot this season, it looks like, which is not going to be fun. Randy Arozarena going to the Diamondbacks as well. So the Diamondbacks are really improving, it looks like, throughout this offseason, which is definitely interesting. So here we are in spring training, as we can see right here. Yeah, so this is the squad moving forward. We got Zach Gallen, Freddie Peralta, Corbin Burns, Max Fried, and Jordan Montgomery as our 5 pitching starters, which I'm really confident in these guys to perform. The relief pitching is going to be really solid this season with Brian Abreu, Kevin Kelly, Phil Beckford, Curtis Bleeks, Lucas Gilbreth right here. So solid about these guys moving forward. Closing pitchers are even be more solid with Heasley, Phillips, and Lawrence, who I'm excited about. And then pretty much the lineup's going to stay the same with, Stylus over here. Matt Mervis will probably start at first base. We got Brendan Rodgers at second base. Obviously, Jackson Holiday is going to play third base. Tovar is going to play short. And CJ Abrams is going to play center field. Then obviously our outfield is going to look pretty interesting. Obviously, Nolan Jones probably going to start in left field this season. Then we got Soto probably going to start in right field this season. And then we got obviously CJ Abrams in center with Dominguez as probably a backup. And then we still have Fernandez. So we have one of these guys could DH. One of the outfielders are going to DH probably this season. But yeah, pretty solid squad. Hopefully we can get back in that playoffs. We obviously spent a ton of money on this team because like it took at the budget. Obviously broke the budget right here at negative 5.2 mil with the salaries. So, but hopefully we're looking to win this season. We're obviously going to do some contract extensions probably in the next episode. But yeah, a ton of things to look forward to in this 2027 season. Hopefully we can finally get it done with the Rockies. We obviously made a lot of good moves throughout this season. The GM goals, we should be back up top in 2027 in this division, but we'll wait and see what happens, and hopefully we can get back on top. I don't know if the Cubs will be back up there. We'll see. I don't know what our division's going to look like this season. To be honest, we can take a look at the other teams in our division. The Giants are still 21st, so they're not really up there. The Padres are 20th. We're 8th right now. The Diamondbacks are 3rd, so we might have to fight them again. And then the Dodgers are 7th. So definitely going to be a battle probably this season with the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. But I don't know. We won that division pretty comfortably. The Diamondbacks kind of fell off last season, so we'll wait and see what's going to happen on that side. But once again, if you guys did enjoy this off-season video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the start of the 2027 season. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out, everyone.